Right, so welcome again to all little things Arsenal. Is a talk, but the bite-sized version, and we have Raz, who's our usual contributor, and you guys know he's my brother. We have TC from iAM Gonna Talk, and we've got James Rowe NL all the way out there in the Netherlands. So, guys,
Hello.
welcome to come on the show.
Thanks for having me again.
Evening.
Good. Right, so yeah, we've got quite a few bits and pieces to get through, and again, we'll try and keep it to the maximum, maybe 40 minutes. I'll try not to go over the time, and let's just see how it goes. So one of the first things that I thought we'll probably talk about and discuss is Xhaka at left back. A lot of people on Twitter and social network were saying that having Xhaka at left back destabilized the team. The balance wasn't there, and I guess that was one of the main reasons why we looked out of sorts against Crystal Palace. What do you guys think about having Xhaka at left back? Did it destabilize the balance of Arsenal? What do you think?
Personally, I'd say the stats speak for themselves. So Torreira and Xhaka had basically formed a good pivot for us in the centre of the park, right? And in the game against Crystal Palace, the percentage in terms of the passes that went to Ozil had decreased significantly. I'm not too sure of the numbers, but I know that the passes decreased. The passes that Mesut Ozil saw from the midfield had decreased. And I believe this is due to the fact that Xhaka had moved to left back. And I believe those two, him and Torreira, had actually created a very, very good balance, or they have created a good balance in midfield. It allows Xhaka to make those mistakes that he typically makes, and he's got someone to clean up for him, and it gives him the chance to actually play his game and spray his passes, play those little passes that we like to see. And yeah, I don't believe him playing at left back has definitely helped at all. It's not creating a good balance for the team.
I wonder personally if he's comfortable at left back. Looking back in his career when he was at Mönchengladbach, I don't think very rarely did he play there. And obviously injuries are dictating at the moment why we're playing him there. But I hope it will in the future. And I'm very intrigued to see how Emery goes about this and identifying a new left back when we go into the transfer market. I know there's been lots of rumours going around as to who Arsenal may well sign as a left back. I saw the current Ajax left back Nicolas Tagliafico linked with Arsenal. He's been extremely solid for Ajax since he signed for the club, and especially in European games. But if we are going to invest in a new left back going forward, I would suggest Ben Chilwell of Leicester for his age and for his for the promise, and obviously being an England international already. I think that would be an interesting avenue to explore in the future. But with regards to the question, Alex, I wonder first and foremost is Xhaka comfortable there at left back, and I don't really think he is.
But did Unai Emery have any other options but to play Xhaka at left back? I mean, who else do you think he could have played at left back apart from Xhaka?
Play one of the kids. We've got a couple of kids in the youth ranks that he could have taken a bold gamble on that. There's one prominent kid. His name's not coming to my mind at the moment, but he's meant to be next at left back, and we've not seen him whatsoever in the team. I'll look up his name. I'll look up his name, and I'll let you know exactly who his name is.
Okay.
Who did we play? We played. Did we play Jenkinson during the football match on Wednesday night? I'm sure there was another young, as you mentioned, it's a youngster. Well,
I believe it's Juan Pleguezuelo, who
yeah. He played centre back. That kid, he was. Do you know what? He was outstanding. He was absolutely outstanding.
Yeah.
Do you think it'd be too much of a gamble to put him in a match of this significance against Liverpool then? Because we don't, like Alex says, we don't have a natural left back really, and Xhaka is more suited to partner Torreira in midfield than he is to be a left back. I think that what that will happen, in a sense, what that will mean, it will mean that if we did play Xhaka as left back, we're inviting more trouble onto us from Liverpool, because they know that we're weak on that side.
Yeah, I think they would deliberately target that, Raz. I think especially with the tricks of Mohamed Salah and the speed of Mohamed Salah. I think that they would deliberately target that, and it's definitely something we've got to look at.
We will suffer. If Xhaka was to play at left back, he will get exposed. Liverpool's wide players will have a great party. It'll be a lovely day out for them. Evidence really is when Xhaka, of course, he scored that brilliant free kick against Crystal Palace, but you could tell when he gave away that that penalty in the box in the dying seconds of the game, the dying minutes of the game. That's a tackle he could have possibly got away with in midfield, but not as if you're playing as a left back. And those are the kind of tiny little mistakes that make the difference between being a left back and, for me, being a central midfielder or a holding midfielder, if you like. I believe maybe, Nacho Monreal may possibly have made that challenge, or due to his experience in that position, he would have stood firm. So for me, that was just a great example of why he shouldn't be playing at left back.
Yeah. I think he got suckered, to be honest. When I was watching them, you always watch these things in slow motion, you see it in real time and everything. And to his credit, he did something, he made contact.
He did.
But to me, when I used to play contact, there's contact and there's contact. The contact that he made, because obviously he tried to play the ball. Zaha was that bit wily, as it were, to realize that he had to make the tackle, and he made as much of a meal of it as he did. And the referee, let's face it, it's not often I often have a go at referees, because when you play away, you have to expect these kind of things. But the referee was pretty much shocking in that match. He got suckered, Xhaka got suckered, and Zaha was well and truly, diving everywhere. So
Zaha was like a fish in the moment. He was diving all over the place.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
So I reckon he should have got a 9.5 for that. So,
but guys, at least we've got a point. We've got a point. Maybe last season we would have probably lost, but Unai Emery again will point to the fact that we didn't lose. If we're playing so bad, don't lose the match, and we didn't lose the match. We got away with the point. But,
agreed. And just to go back, the young left back I was referring to is Cohen Bramall.
Oh, Cohen Bramall, I remember him.
Yes.
Where's he gone to, TC?
He's still there. He's still there.
Is he?
Yeah. He's still there.
He was signed from Hennisford Town?
Yeah, he came in from somewhere at a young age. But why not plug him in? Take a gamble. A lot of these teams take gambles.
No.
Yeah, we've got nothing to lose.
No, we've got nothing to lose.
Step on the front foot, as it were. So yeah, why not put him?
Nothing to lose, a lot to gain, really.
Absolutely. But guys, so which player so far this season, has really, really surprised you? Which player this season has really surprised you? I've gone for Bellerin, because I thought there is no way on this face of this earth that any amount of coaching can improve Bellerin's play. But so far this season, I just kind of wrote down the stats. He's had like 4 assists, 8 shots on goal, and 15 aerial battles won. I know he still kind of gets caught out in the wrong position, maybe too far up the pitch. But I think so far, for me, Bellerin has been the surprise player of the season. I could have gone for Aubameyang or maybe Torreira, but for me so far, Bellerin has been the surprise performer in this new era with Unai Emery. But guys, for you, who has been your surprise player this season so far?
I think you make a very good point about Bellerin. I think I mentioned in the last time I was on that Bailey is now having a manager who speaks to him in a language that he can completely understand. They're speaking in his mother tongue. I'm not saying that Bailey never understood Arsene Wenger. Of course, I'm sure he was completely clear. But in the case of Unai Emery, he can tell him exactly what he wants him to do, and Bailey understands every single word. This year, so far this season, I've been impressed with Lacazette. I think he's shown a bit more than last season. They say that you need a season to adapt in the Premier League, but I can see even more effort from Lacazette this year, especially running off the ball, and I think that's very impressive. And just the team ethic as well. We seem a bit more robust, and heads don't drop when goals conceded, which is a good thing. And to be 13 games unbeaten at the start of Unai Emery's reign is something really, really good. And again, this is just the beginning of the reign. I've said since Unai Emery was appointed, his experience at Valencia, at Sevilla, and Paris Saint-Germain is all relative. And also, you've got to remember, this is a man that took charge of Almeria in Spain and got them promoted to the top flight for the first time in 25 years. So he knows exactly what he's doing at different levels, and I'm just pleased at how Arsenal fans are all embracing it. And you see a lot of positive comments, and even people praising other people's comments, which is good, because we're all one club. We all wear the badge with pride, and it's great to see so far this season.
Ralph, I'll leave it to you.
Well, I was thinking, I was agreeing with James about Bellerin, but to me, it's Iwobi. Iwobi has been the player that we've been waiting for, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's showing his strength. He's showing his confidence, and to me, there's still more to come. I think what happened last season, the one slip that he did, because no matter how it was reported in the paper about him being out maybe 2 nights before the actual match, I'm trying to think who else was playing against, and we had
Nottingham Forest.
It was an away fixture.
Nottingham Forest.
I think under the sorry, James. Sorry, because under the advisement of his dad, these Nigerian parents, when they step on you, when you step out of line, I think he's had to take a lot in, because there's not many youngsters who appreciate the fact that they play for a really big club. So he's been given a second chance, as it were, and also plays for the national team as well. And to transform his form from the national team into has been a revelation as well. So to me, it's a worry. I'm very, very pleased that he's stepping up. And as we mentioned before, Bellerin, he's taken a lot of stick last season, and now he seems to be backing it up a bit as well now. So that's my two. That seems to stand out this moment in time.
Right, for me, I was torn between Iwobi and Lichtsteiner. All right, and my final choice will be Lichtsteiner. Okay, and the reason I say that is, 1, he came on a free, right? 2, the guy is 34, 35 years old. We've seen him out a few times now, and each time that I've seen him, I've been extremely, extremely impressed. When you think of an older player joining Arsenal, for me, in recent years anyway, my memory goes back to Kim Karlström, who was 32 when he joined. I don't know if you guys remember him, the Swedish guy.
Yeah.
Who played 1 half for Arsenal, and we never saw him again. And there was a lot of promise in regards to Kim Karlström. Even though his age, we were certainly reassured of his age, etc. It didn't really matter. And I felt like on this occasion, it was the same with Lichtsteiner. But every time I've seen him, he's been absolutely professional. Yes, 1 or 2 mistakes here and there, but his professionalism has been absolutely fantastic. And he's pretty much, I don't know, he's gone beyond what I was personally expecting. I was expecting an aging right back to come in, someone who's not going to contribute, come in the odd game as a substitute, but he's delivered more than I expected, to be honest.
Right, so now we've just been joined by Mr. Terry Hogan. Terry
Hey,
Hogan.
Eltel.
Welcome.
How you doing, man?
Eltel, there you go.
Hi.
Right, so, Tel, we have...
Hey, Raf.
Oh, there you go.
How you doing, lads?
How you doing?
Very
Tel?
well,
How you doing?
Terry. How are
All
you?
good.
Nice to see a few Gooners there, even the Welsh ones.
And I have to say, I think Eltel goes back further than Raz and myself. Tel, can you tell everyone how long have you been supporting Arsenal?
Yeah, I mean, I started supporting them very seriously. Can you still hear me, guys?
Yeah.
We can.
Yeah.
I've lost vision, but never mind. I'll keep going. I must change these glasses. After the World Cup in '66, a friend of mine was a big Spurs supporter, and he said to me, "Arsenal playing Tottenham. Come and watch the match." And we're walking to the game. So this will be September '66, and he kept teasing me because I live very near Arsenal, and he kept saying, "Oh, you're a Gooner and all that." I said, "Look, I don't really mind who wins. I just enjoyed the World Cup." And he kept teasing me. He's a big Tottenham fan. So I said to him, "I'll tell you what, whichever is the best team today, I'll support." And you know what? I've had a great time since then. Look at all the FA Cups, look at all the league championships. We very nearly did beat the European Cup, the League Cups, and all because of a Tottenham guy. What a nice fella.
Yeah, what a present that was, Terry.
Eh? You've done me a favour there, eh?
That's it.
You know what annoys me? Every time Tottenham kind of do a little bit well, he's very heavily into Facebook and he's giving it a rave up about Tottenham. They haven't won anything for years. And I keep thanking him, you know, thank you for putting me right when I wasn't sure. Right?
No, Tel, I think that's just a typical Tottenham fan. I've got one of my good friends, he's a Tottenham fan, and as soon as they win one or two games, they start piping up, they start coming up their wormholes, and you know,
yeah,
they think they're the best club in the world, but they've not won anything. I completely agree. Yeah, it's just a typical Tottenham fan.
It's a terrible kit as well.
Oh, we're digressing.
My son did a computer course up right near the Tottenham's ground. You know, when he was in year 11, they give him work experience. And he said, "Well, I'll be all right going up there." I said, "You'll be all right, but there's a terrible smell around that area." He said, "Dad, you're right." And what made it worse was the bloke who owned this computer shop, he was a big Spurs fan, and his son and his nephew were on the same thing as my son, Mark. And whatever Mark did, my son did, they asked us to turn up on a Saturday morning, and they gave Mark a £50 bonus because he'd done so well.
Oh,
I think he kept quiet about being a Gooner, though.
All right.
Yeah, so, I mean, you know, I went to the League Cup final in, what was it, 68 against Leeds, then 69 against Swindon. And those were, I was a young kid and it broke my heart. But I was at Tottenham in 71. My dad and I queued up from 10 to 4 till 10 past 7. And we managed to get into the game, which was the championship decider. And saw Arsenal win the championship for the first time since I think it was 1953.
Wow.
So that was a magic moment.
wow.
Well, there you go. It's a quick history of being an Arsenal supporter all those years ago. Tel, just very quickly, we've just been talking about which player has surprised us so far this season. I said it was for me Hector Bellerin. TC said Lichtsteiner. James, I forgot who did you say? Who did you say?
I said Lacazette.
Lacazette. And Raz, remind me, who did you say? Iwobi.
I said Iwobi.
Yeah.
Funny enough, my son was at the game against Blackpool, and he managed to get a club level, and he met Iwobi's dad. And he had a photograph taken with Xhaka. And he's really annoyed because Xhaka is taller than him. I said he could have stood on a box, you know. But yeah, I suppose looking at it, Iwobi has really burst onto the scene the way he did when he first got into the club. And I think that's Emery. I think Emery has told him, look, you've got great pace, you've got great strength. Just explode like a hand grenade. Just go for it. Go for it. And he does look good when he's running with the ball. He's very quick. His skill level is very, very high. He's got very quick feet. And he would be the fella I'd probably think of. But do you know what? Emery's done a fantastic job. He's improved Bellerin immensely. I mean, he can now cross the ball. You know, which he couldn't do before. I'll tell you who's a good crosser of the ball, Lichtsteiner. In that last game, he looked very tight on the fullback, and then he found that yard of space and flicked it across. So hopefully, whether it's rubbing off on Bellerin or not, I don't know. But Bellerin has definitely improved a lot.
Yeah, he has. He has. Right, guys. So as you know, I like to do a competition, and
can I play this time?
Sorry, go on.
Can I play this time?
You can, but you can only answer at the end of the live stream. That goes out for everyone. You can only answer at the end of the live stream. So the question is, can you name at least 5 players who have worn the number 14 shirt?
Ooh.
Can you name at least 5 Arsenal players who have worn the number 14 shirt? So again, this goes out to the subscribers. Guys, guests, do not answer the question yet. We'll have a think about it, and then we'll go towards at the end of the live stream. Then we'll go through the competition. So have a think about it. And name at least 5 Arsenal players who have worn the number 14 shirt. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So let's continue with the debate now. So guys, so after 10 Premiership matches, did you really believe that Arsenal would lie in 4th place? Did you really believe would be in 4th position after 10 matches?
After the first,
because
he looked very
good. I mean, after the first 2 matches, I was thinking, oh my goodness, you know, Man City, then Chelsea, then we had West Ham, Cardiff, Newcastle, Everton, Watford, Fulham, Leicester City, Crystal Palace, and as we know on Saturday, we've got Liverpool. But did you really believe that we would lie in 4th place after 10 matches?
I personally wouldn't have been expecting any less. Even at the start of the season, I knew the first 2 fixtures were very, very difficult with the new manager at the time, and the message had not gone across. But for me, 4th is a completely realistic expectation to have, well, up to 10 games, considering previous results in the last 2 seasons or so. We were put away after the last 2 seasons. This year, we're doing okay away. And in terms of the 2 big games that we played first, with the Chelsea game, I believe we're just unlucky on that day. I believe the message was just starting to get through at that point. And since then, we've just gone that way. We've just gone up. So it's a completely realistic expectation to be 4th after 10 games. And at the start of the season, I was expecting the team to react from the departure of Arsene Wenger because it got stale. Everyone did not want to work under Arsene Wenger. So, it's something that I was expecting personally. And I still believe that we'll finish in the top 4 this season.
Yeah, I mean, I think his biggest task is going to be to get that defence sorted out. He's doing well. Midfield, we've got a wonderful attack. The midfield, once Torreira's in there, is a lot better. But his problem is that back 4, you know, Bellerin's good, but Monreal's coming towards the end of his Arsenal career. And it's difficult to see. I know. I like Socrates. Apparently, by the way, in a foot race, he's the 3rd quickest at the club. And I
know. Yeah, that's a surprise.
He doesn't look that fast. Who's the fastest? Bellerin and Aubameyang are the fastest. But Socrates, even though he's probably not got that initial acceleration in a foot race, over maybe 50 yards, he's the third fastest. But they definitely need a decent big centre back alongside him.
I agree, Terry, and I'm really intrigued going forward as to the type of centre half and the type of player that Emery is going to identify. For me, for Arsenal to be fourth after 10 games, I did expect Arsenal to be in the top four, but after 10 games, because we know it's a marathon, not a sprint. And if you think of the experience that Emery has managing in Spain, managing in France, you know, he's got pedigree. He knows exactly what he's doing in the league setting, and it's all the experience is relevant. And I think we're in good hands. My original prediction for Arsenal this season, before the season began, I stated that I thought Arsenal would finish third, and I'm sticking to that prediction.
Good shout.
Yeah,
very good shout.
Raz,
and
what do you
would you add to that a trophy though for a cup?
Absolutely, Terry. And I sincerely hope that it's our first European trophy for 25 years, because I was very young when we won the Cup Winners' Cup, but I still remember it, and it's still one of the greatest nights I've ever had in my time as an Arsenal fan. But it would be great for the club. It would give us a tremendous boost. And I think we've got a manager that's won it 3 times on the spin. So if I had to pick which trophy we would win, I would love it to be the Europa League.
Yep.
Raz, what do you think?
Well, it's ironic, really. When we used to have a conversation before, Alex and I, we used to say, like, you know what, it'd be good if we can just stay within the top four. You know, if we can win something, brilliant. If we win the FA Cup or whatever, that's fine as well. But then when we saw like the decline of the team and dropping out the top four, I was hoping it wouldn't take too long for the manager, whichever manager it was who was going to come in, to bring us back up there, because I believe that this team is a great team. And the players, I think the players need to have a look at themselves as well and realize that they're great players. And it's taken a manager to give them that kind of belief. Us as fans, I felt that I don't believe we're spoiled. It's said how we have been patient at certain times. We've been very patient with the previous manager, and it didn't bear much fruit other than maybe a few FA Cups. So for us to be in the top four after 10 matches, like TC said earlier, I was expecting. I wouldn't think anything less, to be honest. So I want us to stay there now, and if we can start pushing the other 3 top teams, you know, to let them know that, you know what, it's not going to be easy. That every match is going to be a dogfight, because we deserve to be up there. I'm not looking at anybody else. I'm taking every match as it comes. This team, this Liverpool team, they're coming over and they're thinking that they're going to waltz over at the Emirates because of what happened previously. It's time for these players just to step up and say, nah, this is us. This is the Arsenal. And if we can just literally, if we come with a draw, all right, fair enough. But I want to give them a bloody nose and every team there to let them know that we're back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And guys, whoever's watching the live stream now, or maybe at a later date, make sure you subscribe to I'm Gonna Talk. Make sure you follow James Rowe NL on his Twitter account, Raz as well, and Eltel as well. I'll leave the link in the bottom box below. But yeah, but I'm not sure. Did any one of you see the news in regards to Koscielny, Laurent Koscielny? Apparently,
yeah,
I saw on Sky News, I think, that Emery has said that Koscielny is not going to be in his future plans. I mean, for me, it's not a surprise. I don't think Koscielny has been at world-class level, maybe for the best part of 2-3 years. But, you know, what do you guys think, Laurent Koscielny?
I think with Emery, he's very passionate on the sidelines, which I really love. So much better than Wenger, very unpassionate. But I think underneath that passion, he's very, very cool and calm, and he thinks things through. And he's worked out that Koscielny's better days are behind him. Monreal's better days are behind him. I know he's looking at a left back. I think he's an Argentinian that plays for Ajax.
Tagliafico, Terry.
That's him. That's him. So I think he knows he's got to replace a centre back or two and a left back. but it's not going to happen overnight. This is going to take 1 or 2 seasons before he really has what you could call the Emery team out there.
I think Terry makes a great point there about it taking 1 or 2 seasons. For me, with Koscielny, the mistake at home to Atletico in the semi-final, I remember he was courted by Olympique Marseille a couple of years ago, and he said he didn't want to go because obviously Marseille are in the are up and coming now, and they're pushing on a domestic front to become more stronger in the future. His Achilles injury hasn't helped him. And also, as well, when I look back to his matches, you know, that when he got injured away to Atletico last May, you know, 5 minutes before he got that injury, he let Costa take a run at him, and Costa almost scored. The same with the league game against Hazard, letting Hazard dance his way through before he puts the ball in the back of the net. And also at international level as well, when Adair just shoved him off the ball and got the winner for Portugal in Euro 2016. I think Terry makes a good point. His best days are behind him. And I think it's good that Emery is being ruthless as regards to personnel. I'm just very intrigued as to who he's going to identify. Going back on Terry's point about Tagliafico, he has been one of the shining lights for Ajax since he signed. It was a very difficult season for the club last year, and he was one of the bright sparks. And this season in particular, in a difficult Champions League group with Benfica, AEK Athens and Bayern Munich, he's been particularly very solid in all European games so far.
Right. Yeah, by saying that, have you seen him play? You're out there in Holland here.
Yeah, I have seen him play since he signed for the club, Terry. He's very solid. He reminds me of Javier Zanetti, not so much in terms of attacking prowess, but in terms of temperament. And when on the pitch, he doesn't get hot-headed. He doesn't dive in. He's very cool, calm and collected. And it's interesting to see where the link has come from, because it appears to have come out of nowhere. And it'd be interesting to see if that rumour does have legs, and if it does go on to be something concrete. I'll be interested to keep an eye on that.
Yeah. Right. So, guys. So, in regards to Saturday's match, can I have a prediction from each and every one of you, starting with TC? What's your prediction for Saturday?
Realistically speaking, I'd call for 2-2.
Yeah, me too.
It's going to be a game with goals in it, 100%. But if I wanna be biased, I'd say 1-0 to the Arsenal.
Oh, gone are the days. 1-0 to the Arsenal.
I know.
And James, and you, what's your prediction for Saturday?
My prediction is 2-1 Arsenal.
2-1.
I don't believe this Liverpool team is untouchable. And if we don't believe that, and we play our game and we let Emery tactically work them out, subs are going to be very important as well. The home crowd is going to be very important tomorrow. They're going to have to play their part. But if everybody comes together, I'm quietly confident we'll get a 2-1 win.
Okay. Raz, your prediction?
I would go along with, if we can play against them like we did against Chelsea and we beat Chelsea 3-0 at home, I would love that. But I've got a feeling that there's a goal from them somehow. I'll go. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to go 3-1. I'm going to go 3-1.
Eltel, what's your prediction for Saturday?
Yeah, I remember you asked me this when we played Man City at home. You know, and I remember saying to you, my head tells me we'd be lucky with a draw, and my heart says an Arsenal win. So I'm going to go draw, and I can see Liverpool scoring 2. So if we're going to draw it, we're going to have to score 2.
Yeah. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. If we can escape with a point, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah.
Right. So, guys, back to the competition. Can you name 5 players who have worn the number 14 shirt?
Can we split into teams? I want to be on Terry's team.
Hey.
I'll give you 3. I'll give you 3.
Who wants to go first?
Are we talking Cliff Bastin here or something?
There you go.
The last 30 years. Over the last 30 years.
Okay, I'd say Theo Walcott, Aubameyang, Thierry. That's where my knowledge stops.
Henry.
I think I can add one more to that.
Go for it.
Ian Selly.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Was he number 4? Was he number 14? I think he might have been. Because I think he was on the bench for the Cup final as well, wasn't he? And I think he might have won.
James just stretching it a little bit. He's not on my list. He's not on my list.
I was wondering.
I had TC's picks and Ian Selly, so that was my 4.
No. Save the day.
Well, the one I wondered was Grimandi.
No.
The Grimster, no?
I thought it was 18.
Nah. Right.
Swords.
So, all right. So this is the list. So first, of recent times, Aubameyang, Theo Walcott, Thierry Henry, and this is a real surprise for me when I looked on the Arsenal website. Martin Keown from 1993 to 94, and then again 98 to 99. Then maybe closer to my era, Michael Thomas, 1991 to 92.
Yeah.
So they shared it. It was Paul Davids again, 1991 to 92. David Hillier. Perry Groves. Perry Groves from 1990 to 92. And last but not least, who started all off, David O'Leary, 1990 to 1991. So they've all worn the 14, the famous 14.
Oh. So is it safe to say that me and Terry won?
Say again?
me and Terry won this competition.
Yeah, we won it. Can we have a chocolate? Can we have a chocolate bar?
No prizes, mate. No prizes.
No prizes. And a ticket to the next home game.
I want a slice of cake or something.
Right, guys, before I wrap up the live stream, it's going very, very quick. First of all, I want to say big thank you to James again, all the way out there in the Netherlands. Are you going to the match? Are you not going to the match, are you?
No, I'm going to the match on Thursday against Sporting Lisbon.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah. I will be there as well. I will be there, so maybe we can meet up.
That would be nice. That would be lovely. Okay,
good. TC, again, thanks very much for coming on the live stream again. Again, anyone's watching this live stream, make sure you subscribe to I Am Gonna Talk. You've been warned. Yeah, again, TC, thanks a lot.
No, thank you.
LTL. Finally. Thanks for coming on the show.
I thought you were going to wear a sombrero.
Oh, where's yours?
Well, I'm waiting for you. Next time, yeah?
Next time. And last but not least, Raz, again, as always, thanks for coming on the show. But yeah, it's been a blast.
It's been a pleasure.
Very, very quick. Again, whoever's watching or who has watched the live stream, all little things, Arsenal, thanks for coming on. And until then, we are out.